Jews gon' stand the test of time, but the ones that bug and push the pesticide. We in the tabloids, y'all in your feelings. We standing up to fight for our people, cause we tired of the killers. We going live in a minute. We hear the rise of the remnant. Y'all see we obviously different. Chosen for this 144, just how it was written. We hit the block in the thousands. Hey, from Detroit to Ghana, from old block back to the islands. Reach. The army of God, we here to clean up the problems. Preach. That fervent heat, some more on the beat. So who finna play with it in the streets?
Hey, yeah, I'm with my crew and my posse. Just got back from Kumasi. Kindly, somebody find me. I'm in your hood with bishops and deacons and captains and angels and armies behind me. IUIC is moving at top speed. You see a dome, I see my assign. See, leave us alone. You scheming like Ponzi. Real ones is back. They screaming out finally. Whole lot of roughnecks head made of flint. Devil must flee, I don't care where you went. Blood in these streets, red 10 on the 10. Listen your strip like we on a defense. We ain't reviewing your album when we say spinning your projects again and again. You know the prophet's a problem. Who about to do something about it?
We hit the block in the thousands. Hey, from Detroit to Ghana, from old block back to the islands. Reach. The army of God, we here to clean up the problems. Preach. That fervent heat, some more on the beat.
Hold on. Y'all ain't leaving out deep. Fourth drive ride with a swag on them. Zay's on the beat, put the fan on it, band on it. You the blue, black, no tan on it. Purple stands out, no doubt, put the brand on it, stand on it. Hey, he done went straight, do the work, jerk. Ain't that what he say? Sun done went down on them clowns on they base. This morning to morning, no light on they face. Man, let me get back to my Judas. I want the whole earth, we seek rulership. Your pastor keep capping, he full of it. Chopping they doctors, don't know who they fooling with. We bring the tutelage, man. Better fix face, we can make time on the grind all day. Gotta ride for the tribe, yeah, the vines on the way. Put the moms on the bonnet, cause them bonds gon' save. Safe. Ain't here to play. Israel united, dividing the hate, and we drinking the snake. We ain't biting your base, see you fishing to hear what you saying. These heathens gon' pay. Hell yeah, they gon' pay, and I'm patiently waiting this day when they all at the way, and the king in his place, and we back in them gates. You gon' see that purple rain.
From Detroit to Ghana, from old block back to the islands. Reach. The army of God, we here to clean up the problems. Preach. That fervent heat, some more on the beat. So who finna play with his blood in the streets? Shush.
I've been on this road too long. I'm making my way back home. I was young, did a lot of things wrong. I'm making my way back home. When I pull up, lit, flex, make 'em sick, rocks, drip. So my lady we get, kill 'em. So my lady we get, kill 'em. So my lady we get.
To the top from the dust of the ground. Shout out my God, he be holding me down. Blessing, I'm counting it out. So many mansions, I'm living on Mars. You ain't gotta ask if I'm a star. Light up your wood when I blink from afar. VVS diamonds, this stars on my floor. Gold on my pavement, don't rock that no more. Sitting on the throne with the boss. Heat up the scroll and we ready to fly. This weapon that I got, I'm calling it good. I'm holding it against you better than blood. Get in NBA, but they watching us ball. They know I'm the king, I ain't talking LeBron. I pull up like Curry, I'm hitting them all. I made a crossover, I'm watching them fall.
Pull up, lit, flex, make 'em sick, rocks, drip. So my lady we get, kill 'em. So my lady we get, kill 'em. So my lady we get. I'm a guy that was made for the top. Enemies in the act tryna swap. Payback, many heads getting chopped. I don't play, but it can't be a lot. On the wrist, I just put 12 rocks. All the days I used to struggle, I forgot. Just the belly and the food in the pot. Now I'm on a private island on the yacht. On the scene, and we doing big things.
Still hearing something. Mic check. All right. Hey, shalom, Israel. Most High in Christ bless you. Officer Jez, I'm back with another History in the AM. So it's always a pleasure. All praise to the Most High. So, as you see I know we don't have a thumbnail, right? So we just have a title. We just have a title, which is called History of the Trinity and the Gods of the Nation. So History of the Trinity and Gods of the Nation. So I'm just going to delve into the origins of the Trinity and the gods of the nations and so forth and so on. All right. And how we got intertwined with dealing with the other gods of the nations, right? And where the Trinity came from, where it came from. What's the origins of the Trinity? Okay, what gods are involved in the Trinity? All right, so we're going to go into that today. Okay, hey, but first, let me get Romans 15:4. I like to always start with that. Romans 15:4. Hey, give me Job 8:8. Give me Job 8:8. Romans 15:4, and give me Job 8:8.
Romans chapter 15, verse 4. Read. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
Read again.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
So the things that were written before time, meaning what? History. The things that are written before time, it became history. All right? Read it from the top again.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
These things that are written in the Bible, okay, all of the history, the trials, the tribulations, the judgments that the Lord put on us and so forth, these things was written for our learning. Why? They became, so what? We don't fall into that same judgment, okay, or like the prophets. Okay, like the wisdom that came from the prophets and so forth, from Christ, Moses, King David. So we learning from these things as examples how to move in our lives today. All right, read it again.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures.
You see that? That we through patience and comfort of the scriptures, read.
Might have hope.
That we might have hope. Why? We're reading about our forefathers, how they dealt with certain situations, how they got through certain trials and tribulations, the wisdom that came from our forefathers. All right? Give me that in Maccabees. You know the one? I think it's First Maccabees 12. Saying this, saying the same thing. This is the example. First Maccabees 12. Hold on, let me get. Nah, it's saying that they had comfort through the scriptures.
Second Maccabees chapter 15 and verse, I can start at verse 8.
Yeah, read.
Verse 8, wherefore he exhorted his people not to fear the coming of the heathen against them, but to remember the help which in former times they have received from heaven, and now to expect the victory and aid, which should come unto them from the Almighty. Verse 9, and so comforting them out of the law and the prophets.
Read it again.
And so comforting them out of the law and the prophets.
So listen, during this trials that we was going through at this time, during the revolt, the rebellion with Judas Maccabees, throughout the wars, we were being comforted through what? The scriptures. We were being comforted throughout the scriptures. That's why in certain situations, in certain the wars that Judas was going, that we was in, that we were fighting, a lot of the battles, Judas was exhorting them through the scriptures. He was reminding them of our forefathers, how they dealt with how the Lord was helping them. So that put them in that spirit to just go to war. You understand? So he was able to exhort them through the scriptures. Read it again.
And so comforting them out of the law and the prophets.
Right. Go ahead.
And withal putting them in mind of the battles that they won afore. He made them more cheerful.
You see that? Read it from the top again. Read it from the top again.
And so
comforting them out of the law and the prophets.
So comforting them out of the law and the prophets, right? Go ahead.
And withal putting them in mind of the battles that they won afore.
You see that? And putting them in mind of the battles that we won before. Go ahead.
He made them more cheerful.
Made them more what?
Cheerful.
He made us the more cheerful to go to war. Through his exhortations. Why? Through the comfort of the scriptures. All right. Now, give me Job 8 and 8. Job 8 and 8.
Job chapter 8, verse 8.
Read.
For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age.
So, Job said, inquire of the former age. The age that came before us. Go ahead.
And prepare thyself to the search of their fathers.
And we must prepare ourselves to the search of our fathers. How do we do that? The scriptures. Our forefathers is in the scriptures. We must prepare ourselves through the search, going through these scriptures, studying, okay, reading your four chapters, all right? That's how you're going to prepare yourself, through the search of your fathers. Read it again.
For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers.
Prepare ourselves to the search of our fathers. Read on.
For we are but of yesterday.
We are but of yesterday. Time is short. Life is short. Go ahead.
And know nothing.
And we don't know anything. Go ahead. There are people in the Christian church, they don't know nothing. You know why? Because guess what? They don't prepare themselves to the search of their forefathers. They don't know that these are our forefathers. They think our forefathers, they think everybody in the Bible is white. They think Christ is white. Not knowing this is our history book. This book belongs to us. This is the search of our fathers right here. Go ahead.
For we are but of yesterday and know nothing.
So we are but of yesterday and we don't know a damn thing. Go ahead.
Because our days upon earth are a shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Shall not they teach thee and tell thee?
Shall not who teach thee? Read it again.
Shall not they teach thee?
Shall not our forefathers teach thee? Go ahead.
And tell thee?
And tell us. Read.
In other words, out of their heart?
Mm-hmm. Out of their minds. Go ahead.
Can the rush grow up without mire? Mm-hmm. Can the flag grow without water?
Read.
Whilst it is yet in his greenness and not cut down.
All right, so that's all I want. So let's get into it. Give me let's start with Deuteronomy. Give me Deuteronomy 4. Hey, was y'all able to find the different names of the gods? All right, cool. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse. You start verse 6. We're gonna jump.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 6. Keep therefore and do them. For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. Mm-hmm. For what nation is there so great, who have God so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great, that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day?
Right. So if we kept God's laws, we will become a nation with wisdom and understanding before all the other nations. Read on.
Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently.
Take heed to ourselves that we keep his laws. Go ahead.
And keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen.
Right. Jump to 14.
Verse 14. And the Lord commanded me at that time.
Jump to 12.
Verse 12. And the Lord spake unto you out of the midst of the fire. Ye heard the voice of the words, but saw no similitude.
Right. We see no similitude. Go ahead.
Only
similitude of the Lord. Go ahead.
Only ye heard a voice.
Only we heard a voice. Read.
And he declared unto you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments. And he wrote them upon 2 tables of stone.
Right. Go ahead. So those commandments that he wrote, remember, they were under the main 10 commandments, there was laws and substatutes under each, right? So it wasn't just the commandments there. It was substatutes and laws and so forth under those 10. All right? The 10 is the main, but then you have the substatutes and you have the laws and so forth under those 10, right? Go ahead.
And the Lord commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess it. Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves.
So take ye good heed unto yourselves. Read.
For ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that the Lord spake unto you.
So he repeats it again. Take ye good heed to yourselves, because you seen no manner of similitude, right? Take good heed. Go ahead. He's repeating it. Go ahead.
That the Lord spake unto you in Horeb, out of the midst of the fire.
Right. Remember, the Lord only spoke to you out of the midst of the fire. You only heard his voice. You didn't see no likeness of the Lord. Go ahead. No similitude. You didn't see his shape and so forth. Go ahead.
Lest ye corrupt yourselves.
So now 16, he's repeating like, yo, make sure y'all take heed to yourselves, because remember, you didn't see the Lord. You didn't see no similitude of the Lord. You just heard his voice. Now 16 is why he's repeated verse 13, 12 and 15. So read 16 now.
Lest ye corrupt yourselves.
Lest you corrupt yourselves. Go ahead.
And make you a graven image. The similitude of any figure.
You see that? The similitude of any figure. Go ahead.
The likeness of male or female.
So he's letting Israel know, listen, you see no manner of similitude of the Lord, right? All right. So the whole point is verse 16, lest you corrupt yourselves and try to make a similitude, an image of anything. Because Israel, we are prone to idolatry, man. We are prone to idolatry. It's just what it is. We want to do what the other nations do. And I'm going to show you that. We are prone to idolatry. So the Lord is repeating it like, listen, take heed to yourselves. Because the Lord already know. You already know. Right? Go ahead.
The similitude of any figure.
Uh-huh.
The likeness of male or female.
Read.
The likeness of any beast that is on the earth. The likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air.
Read.
The likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground. The likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth. Unless thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun.
So hold on. Verse 19. Read it again.
Unless thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven.
So unless you lift your eyes up unto the heavens, go ahead.
And when thou seest the sun.
When you see is the sun, go ahead.
And the moon.
And the moon.
And the stars.
And the stars. Read on.
Even all the host of heaven.
And all the host of the heavens, the planets, and so forth. Go ahead.
Should us be driven to worship them.
And should us be driven to do what?
Worship them.
And should us be driven to worship them. So lest you look up to the sun, the moon, the stars, and all the hosts of the heavens, and be driven to worship them. Go ahead. Bow down to them. Go ahead.
And serve them.
And call them gods. Go ahead.
Which the Lord thy God hath divided unto all nations under the whole heaven.
So this is where I wanted to get to. The Lord divided the heavens, the sun, the moon, the stars, and all the hosts of heaven. He gave that up to the other nations so they can worship. Right? That wasn't meant for us. We got the Lord that made the heavens and the earth. But the sun, the moon, the stars, and the host of heaven, he gave that up. He divided that up to the nations. Go ahead.
But the Lord hath taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace.
Read.
Even out of Egypt, to be unto him a people of inheritance, as ye are this day. Furthermore, the Lord was angry.
That's it. Give me Psalms 96 and 5. So the Lord gave the sun, the moon, and the stars, and the host of heaven. He gave them up to the other nations so that they can worship them. Right? Go ahead.
Psalm 96 and 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols.
For what?
All the gods of the nations are idols.
All the gods of the nations, they are idols. They are idols. None of them can worship the Lord. The Lord said, nope, y'all worship them idols over there. That's what it is. He gave them up to the sun, the moon, the stars. So guess what? The nations, what they did, they made up gods after the sun, the moon, the stars, and all the hosts of heaven. That's what they did. Read it again.
For all the gods of the nations are idols.
All the gods of the nations are idols. And we're going to show you that. All the gods of the nations are idols. Read on.
But the Lord made the heavens.
But God, the Lord made the heavens. All right. So the Lord gave all the other nations up. He divided them, He divided all the idols, all the hosts of heaven up to the other nations. Okay. But now, give me. Do y'all have what I want? First, give me. Just go to Google. Go to Google and put in. Try to link ChristianAnswers.net. ChristianAnswers.net. I sent that to Officer Manny. Yeah. Yep. Blow it up. Right. So look. These are the different gods that you'll read about in the scriptures, right? Some of them are not in the scriptures, but for the main, go down. Go down. Go to Google. Go to Google real quick. Just go to Google and put in different gods in the Bible. Different God in the Bible. Yep.
The Bible mentions many gods, including deities from Canaan, Moab, and Mesopotamia.
Right. Go ahead.
Some of these gods include Asherah.
Yeah. Just all right. So we got Asherah. Go ahead.
Asherah, a dominant female deity that some believe was worshipped by the ancient Israelites.
Asherah is the same as Ashtoreth. Go on. Read on.
Baal, a Canaanite Phoenician god of rain and fertility, who is also associated with demons, Beelzebub, and the devil.
Right. So hold on. Now, leadership done went over classes with Ball, Bishop, the Deacon Ithon. So he done went over classes. So I'm just skimming the surface here. So Baal, keep him in mind. Go back up to Asherah. Click on Asherah. I bet that's Astor. I already know that's Astor. Click on that.
Asherah, the mystery goddess forgotten from the Bible.
They saying shit. It's Astor. Don't even go on. You good. You good. Yeah, it's Astor.
Asherah was a mother goddess and fertility deity in ancient West Semitic religions.
Right. Asherah, Ishtar. That's Asherah. Right. All right. So go back out. Let's go back.
Elohim.
No. Keep Chamash. So keep Ashtoreth. Keep Baal. Now read on.
Shamash, the supreme deity of the Moabites, a Semitic people who lived in modern-day Jordan.
Right. So Shamash, that's the so-called Chinese today. That's their god. Go ahead. Go down. Dagon. Read about Dagon.
Dagon, a Mesopotamian god who was worshipped as the creator god, Lord of the land and chief deity.
Right. So Dagon, another name for Baal. Go ahead.
El Shaddai, a name for God that translates to God Almighty.
No. That's go down. That's it. Give me Tammuz. I thought there was one that had Tammuz on there. Tammuz. Just click on Tammuz. You can read that.
Tammuz is a Babylonian god and the name of a month in the Hebrew calendar that appears in the Bible in Ezekiel 8:14. The Bible mentions Tammuz in the context of idolatry and the destruction of the first temple.
Hey, you don't have the ChristianAnswers.net. Let me see, man. Hold on. Because the gods that I want is on there. Hold on. Put in Yes, put in different names of idols. My bad. Put in different names of idols. That's the same link, but let's put that in and see what happens. I don't know why it's coming up. Let me see. Yeah. Go back to ChristianAnswer.net. Go all the way down. Just scroll all the way down. Scroll. Come on. Yep, right here. All right. So this is all of them right here. This is what I wanted. All right. Click on asterisk now. Asterisk. See all the different names? Read them.
Who is Ashtoreth?
Yep.
Also known as Asherah, Ashtoreth, Ashtaroth, Ishtar, Astarte, Ashtoreth, Ashtaroth, Astartu, Uni Astri, Ashtart, Athart.
Go ahead.
The Queen of Heaven.
The Queen of Heaven. She became known as the Queen of Heaven. Right? What you're going to see is that these are all the same gods, but under different names. That's what I'm trying to show you. Right? Go back out now. Go back out. That's Ashtoreth. Keep her in mind. Because she has a main name that they didn't put on there. Go back to Baal. Right? Read that.
Baal, also known as Baal or plural, Balaam, meaning Lord.
Read that. It was a false god. The false god.
This was the name of a false god, a man and a place.
Read.
Baal, the false god, was the name used for the principal male god of the Phoenicians and Philistines.
Right. So Baal was the principal male god of the Phoenicians and Philistines, the Hamites. Go ahead. That was in the land.
It is found in several places in the plural, Balaam, Judges chapter 2, verse 11, 10 and 10, 1 Kings 18, 18, Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 23, Hosea 2, 17.
Right.
Baal is identified with Molech or Moloch in Jeremiah 19 and 5.
His name was also Molech. He was also Molech. Go ahead.
It was known to the Israelites as Baal Peor. Numbers 25 and 3, Deuteronomy 4 and 3. Was worshipped to the time of Samuel, 1 Samuel 7 and 4, and was afterwards the religion of the 10 tribes in the time of wicked King Ahab.
Right, that's it. Go out of that. All right, so we got Ashtoreth, right? We have Baal or Baal. Go down. Let me see. Oh, go to Baal Bereth. Go there. Go ahead.
Baal Bereth, meaning covenant Lord. This was the name of the false god worshipped in Shechem after the death of Gideon. In Judges 8:33, 9 and 4, and 9:46, he is called simply the god Bereth.
You see the different names we would change, how we change it up? Same God. Go out. Go out. All right, let's go down. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Go to Dagon. Dagon. Go to the golden calf. Go to the golden calf real quick. Read that.
Golden calf. Golden calves are mentioned in Exodus 32 and 4, 8, Deuteronomy 9:16, 1 Kings 12:28, and Nehemiah 9 and 18. This was a gold sculpture of a calf which the idolatrous Israelites formed at Sinai. This symbol was apparently copied from the pagan religion of the Egyptians. It was destroyed at the command of Moses in Exodus 32:20.
Jump down to some suggest.
Some suggest that the golden calf which Aaron made, Exodus 32 and 4, was possibly a copy of the god Molech.
Yeah. Baal. Go ahead. Molech. Go ahead.
Rather than of the god Apis, the sacred ox or bull calf of Egypt.
All the same God. We're gonna show you that. It's all the same. They be just trying to hide it in their mythology and under different names. All right, go ahead. Go back out. Go back out. Go down. Go to Dagon. Read that.
Dagon, meaning little fish from dag, a fish. This is the Hebrew name used to refer to the national god of the Philistines in Judges 16 and 23. This idol had the body of a fish with the head and hands of a man. Right. He was considered to be the god of prosperity, and the Syrians considered him the father of gods. It was an Assyrio-Babylonian deity, the worship of which was introduced among the Philistines through Chaldea.
Go down. Let me see. Let me see. Go back up. Go back up. Go back up. Go up. That's it. Okay. So Dagon, that's ball too. All right. Go back out. Go down. Let me see. Go to Nebo. Go to Nebo.
Nebo. Nebo, also known as Nabu, or Noba. This is the name of a false god in 3 biblical places. Nebo, a Chaldean and Babylonian false god whose worship was introduced into Assyria by Pul, in Isaiah 46:1, Jeremiah 48:1. There was a temple of Nebu at the city of Nabu at Nimrod in Mesopotamia. The ruins of this great temple can still be seen in a burst Nimrod.
So keep Nimrod in mind. Keep Nimrod in mind as well. All right, go ahead.
The statue of Nebu found at Nimrod's city, Kala, where it was set up by King Paul of Assyria, is on display in the British Museum.
Go down. Let me see. Go down. Go down. Okay, so Nebu, go. Where you going? Right here. I thought I read it somewhere. It says Nebo was the son, pretty much the son of Baal. Nebo was the son. Go to go out of this, and go to Marduk. You still in, no, not don't go out of this whole thing. You still in. Let me see. Go down. All right, just jump to Tammuz.
Tammuz. This is the name of the 4th month of the Jewish ecclesiastical year and 10th month of the civil year. The name was borrowed from Chaldeans. The name is a corruption of Dumuzi, the Akkadian sun god, the Adonis of the Greeks, the husband of the goddess Ishtar.
You see that? So Tammuz, throughout history, so you remember Ashtoreth, remember Baal, okay, and remember Tammuz. Now, give me, do I want that yet? No. So we're going to get in. Give me Judges 2:11. Judges 2:11. So what you're going to notice, okay, what you're going to notice throughout our history, we always ended up worshiping these gods, right? We always fell into idolatry. So what happened is the Most High would send leaders, right? The Most High would send leaders to get us back in order. And then once that leader went off, guess what? We went off. We went off into idolatry. All right. That's why the Lord, he always tell us, like, no, don't get Deuteronomy 7:3 first. The Lord always said, do not meddle with the other nations. Why? Because you're going to run after their gods. All right. Give me Deuteronomy 7:3 first.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Matter of fact, give me Exodus 20:3 first. Exodus 20:3.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3.
Yep.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
So this is in the commandments. The Lord said, the first commandment is thou shalt have no other gods before me. Read.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
Right. Read.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them.
So don't bow yourselves to them. Read.
Nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God.
Read.
Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
Right. So we just read that in Deuteronomy. Remember, the Lord repeated it. The Lord was serious about that thing. Yo, don't put no other God before me. Because he know Israel. He knew soon as, like, for example, give me when Moses went up to the mount for 40 days and 40 nights. Moses just left for 40 days and 40 nights, and we started bugging. You know what I want? You know what's that? Right. He came down. He was worshiping the calf.
Exodus chapter 32.
Yep.
Exodus chapter 32 and verse 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods.
Yo, Israel crazy. So they was like, yo, Moses, I don't know what's up. He ain't coming back. You know what I mean? So, hey, why don't you just make us a calf? Go ahead.
Which shall go before us.
Which should go before us. Now, mind you, we just crossed the Red Sea. We seen the Lord, how he dealt with the Egyptians for us. We just crossed the Red Sea on dry land. And here we like, yo, I don't know what's up with Moses. He tripping, man. I don't think he coming back. What you think, Aaron? Yo, just why don't you just make us a calf real quick? We need something to worship. Go ahead.
For as for
yo, you gotta get in the mindset of the Negro. This is what was going on, bro.
as for this Moses.
Yo, Moses bugging, man. I don't know. It's been 40. It's like 3 weeks, man. We ain't seen this guy. You don't even know what to do, Aaron. I mean, what's up? Why don't you just make us a calf? You know how Negro is. Yo, man, make us a calf, man. Aaron probably trying to tell him, like, yo, chill. No, Moses dealing with the Lord real quick. He gonna come back and like, yo, bro, we've been waiting for a minute, man. We ain't trying to hear that, man. Just make us that golden calf. We got all the material right here. Go ahead.
For as for this Moses,
Mm-hmm.
the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what has become of him.
Yeah, we don't know what's up with him, man. This dude just left us out of nowhere. That's crazy. You don't think that's crazy, Aaron? My man is bugged out and left. Go ahead.
And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me.
Now, Aaron knew what was going on. Aaron knew that he know what's up, right? But you think Aaron just like, yo, just all right, just right. Just make me just bring the earrings and so forth. No, they pressed upon him. They probably threatened Aaron, like, yo, man, you better make us here, make this. Or we going, but you don't. They could have threatened Aaron or pressed upon him to make the golden calf. Go ahead.
And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in their ears and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them at their hand and fashioned it with a graving tool.
What verse you on?
Verse 4.
Oh, go ahead.
After he had made it a molten calf. And they said.
So pretty much Aaron agreed. Like, all right, cool. Go ahead.
And they said.
Because they probably pressed upon him every day. Like, yo, Aaron, this dude ain't coming back, man. Just make us a golden calf like we had in Egypt. That'll be quick and easy for us to worship a God. He's like, all right, go ahead.
These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
Now, hold on. You see the nonsense? These be our gods, Israel, that brought us up out of the land of Egypt. But wait, the Lord just brought us out of the land of Egypt by the hand of Moses. But you see the nonsense? This is Israel, Negroes. Go ahead.
And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation and said, Tomorrow is a feast to the Lord.
Wow. So to the calf, he said, yo, tomorrow's a feast to the Lord. Go ahead.
And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink and rose up to play. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go, get thee down, for thy people, which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves.
So the Lord like, yo, you gonna hurry up and you need to get down there, man. Look at this. Look at this nonsense going on. This is what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them.
Because this is Israel. We turn aside quickly. We don't wait. If there's no leader around, we like, yo, man, look, we out, man. We about to do our own thing. Hey, give me those, what about those gods over there real quick? Let's worship that. That's how we are. Go ahead.
They have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it
Read.
and have sacrificed thereunto and said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold.
So the Lord said, look, man, I've seen this people. Go ahead.
It is a stiff-necked people.
We are what?
A stiff-necked people.
We are a stiff-necked people. Look up the word stiff-necked. We are a stiff-necked people, man. Look up the word stiff-necked.
In the Bible, stiff-necked is a figure of speech that describes someone who is stubborn and difficult to lead.
That's Israel. That's black people. That is black people. Read it again.
In the Bible, stiff-necked is a figure of speech that describes someone who is stubborn
Stubborn. Read.
and difficult to lead.
It's hard to lead Israel. It is hard. It is hard to deal with Israel. That's what that means. Israel, black people is stubborn and hard to deal with. That's us being stiff-necked. All right, read it now. Read verse 9 again.
And the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people.
Right. Now give me Numbers 25 and 3. You would think we would learn our lesson. Lord don't put plagues on us and so forth. Right? Watch this. Numbers 25 and 3.
Numbers 25 and 3. And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor. And the anger.
Hold on. Let me get there. It's probably something I want you to read up a little bit. Let me start at verse 1.
Verse 1. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. And they called the people.
1 second. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 3. Deuteronomy 7 and 3. That's what I forgot. Deuteronomy 7 and 3. The Lord warned us, and he told us over and over and over again, do not have no other gods before me. Don't mess with these nations. Don't meddle with these nations. Don't marry them. Don't have, because why? They're going to turn you to their gods. Right.
Deuteronomy 7 verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me.
You see that? Go ahead.
That they may serve other gods.
That they may serve other gods. The gods that we just read about. Those are the other gods. Go ahead. Idols. Go ahead.
So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly.
Right. Now go to Numbers 25 and 3. You start at verse 1.
Numbers 25 and 1. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab.
You see that? The people, we began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. Read.
And they called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods.
Unto the sacrifices of their what?
Their gods.
Of their gods. Go ahead.
And the people did eat and bowed down to their gods.
You see how Israel do? We did eat and bow down to their gods. Read.
And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor.
Baal Peor. Baal Peor. That's Baal. That is Baal. Okay? We just read about him, right? Go back to Baal Peor. Go back to Baal Peor. Yeah, go up. You got to go back out of that. Yep. Baal Peor. Read that.
Baal Peor, meaning Lord of the opening. This was the name of the false god of the Moabites. Numbers 25 and 3.
Read.
31:16, Joshua 22:17, worship by obscene rites. So called from Mount Peor, where this worship was celebrated, the Baal of Peor.
You see that same God, Baal of Peor. But it's Baal Peor because now Baal is worshipped in Mount Peor. So he called Baal Peor. All right, same God. Going back to the same God, right? Now go back to the scriptures.
Numbers 25 and verse 3.
Read.
And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel. And the Lord said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before the Lord against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel.
So you think we learned our lesson? Give me Judges 2 and 11. I'm just going through a couple of scriptures of us worshiping these gods.
Judges chapter 2 verse 11. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord and served Balaam.
And served who?
Balaam.
Balaam. Go back to Balaam now. You see the name in the God. It's the same God. I don't think Balaam's up there. But Balaam is Baal. Balaam is Baal. Right? Balaam is Baal. Read that again.
And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord.
So we once again did evil in the sight of the Lord. Read.
And served Balaam.
Served Baal. Lord of the flies. In the New Testament, he called Beelzebub. Right? That's Baal. That's Baal. Okay. From there, get me Judges 3 and 7. Jump to 3 and 7.
Judges 3 and 7.
Wait, what verse you just finished off at?
Verse
2:11, right?
Yes, sir.
Read down.
And they forsook the Lord God of their fathers,
Uh-huh.
which brought them out of the land of Egypt,
Read.
and followed other gods,
Read.
of the gods of the people that were round about them, and bowed
So
them.
so it says that we forsook the Lord God of our fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and then we followed other gods. Go ahead.
of the gods of the people that were round about them,
See that? Go read.
and bowed themselves unto them,
Read on.
and provoked the Lord to anger.
Read.
They forsook the Lord
Uh-huh.
and served Baal
Uh-huh.
and Ashtaroth.
We serve Baal and we serve Ashtoreth. Now, as I go on in the class, you're going to see the names who they really are. But we named them Baal and Ashtoreth, right? Same gods, different names. Same gods, different names. And I'm going to show you that these same gods that we're reading about, they had different names the other nations called them other names, but it goes all the way back to the same gods. All right. You have verse 13. Now give me Judges 10 and 10. Judges 10 and 10.
Judges chapter 10, verse 10.
Let me see. Hey, get Judges 3. Judges 3 and 1. Judges 3 and 1.
Judges chapter 3, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them,
Right. So the Lord left the nations around us to prove us. Right. Go ahead.
even as many of Israel had not known all the wars of Canaan.
Read.
Only that the generations of the children of Israel might know, to teach them war, at the least such as before knew nothing thereof.
Read.
Namely, 5 lords of the Philistines, and all the Canaanites, and the Sidonians, and the Hivites.
Jump down to verse 5.
Verse 5. And the children of Israel dwelt among the Canaanites, Hittites, and Amorites, and Perizzites, and Hivites, and Jebusites. And they took their daughters to be their wives,
You see that? Interracial. So we took their daughters to be our wives. Go ahead.
and gave their daughters to their sons, and served their gods.
Right. Like the Lord told us not to do in Deuteronomy 7 and 3. We did it anyway. Go ahead.
And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord,
Uh-huh.
and forgat the Lord their God, and served Balaam and the groves.
And we served Balaam and the groves. Served Balaam again and the groves. Now, obviously, y'all Ken went into the groves and so forth. So you can check out his class on that. Read on.
Therefore, the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he sold them into the hand of Rishthaim, king of Mesopotamia. And the children of Israel served Rishthaim 8 years. And when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord raised up a deliverer.
So what you're going to see is every time we served another God, guess what the Lord did? He put us in captivity. He put us in captivity. So that's what you're reading in Judges. So once we did evil on the side of the Lord, meaning worshiping Balaam and these other gods and Ashtoreth, the Lord put us in captivity. Once we get in captivity and get afflicted, what we do? We cry unto the Lord. Read on.
Who delivered them, even Othniel.
So now, Lord, give us a leader. He give us a leader to straighten us out, to deliver us, right? Go ahead.
Even Othniel, the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother.
Uh-huh.
And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he judged Israel, and went out to war. And the Lord delivered Rishthaim, king of Mesopotamia, into his hand. And his hand prevailed against Rishthaim.
Read.
And the land had rest 40 years. And Othniel, the son of Kenaz, died. And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord. And the Lord strengthened Eglon, the king of Moab, against Israel.
Right. Now, give me Judges 10 and start at verse 6.
Judges chapter 10, verse 6.
Hold on. I'm trying to see. Start at verse 1. Start at verse 1. Watch this.
Verse 1. And after Abimelech there arose to defend Israel Tola, the son of Puah, the son of Dodo, a man of Issachar. And he dwelt at Shamir and Mount Ephraim. And he judged Israel 23 years and died and was buried.
Whoa. Read that slow. Remember, read it from the top again. Read verse 1. I'm showing y'all something. Read verse 1 again.
And after Abimelech, there arose to defend Israel Tola.
So there arose, after Abimelech, there arose Tola, who was Issachar. He defended us. That was our leader at that time. The Lord gave us another leader. Why? Remember, we kept going into captivity after captivity for serving of the gods. Read on.
The son of Pua, the son of Dodo, a man of Issachar. And he dwelt in Shamir and Mount Ephraim.
Right, read.
And he judged Israel 23 years.
So he judged, so we had an Issacharite over us that judged Israel 23 years, right? Read on.
And died.
He died now. He's gone, right? That was our leader. He died. Read on.
And was buried in Shamir.
Uh-huh.
And after him arose Jair, a Gileadite.
So now after him, Jair, now he's ruling over us. That's Manasseh, Gileadite. Go ahead.
And judged Israel 22 years.
He judged us 22 years. Go ahead.
And he had 30 sons that rode on 30 ass colts. And they had 30 cities, which are called Havoth Jair, and to this day, which are in the land of Gilead.
Read.
And Jair died and was buried in Canaan.
Read.
And
watch this, verse 6.
And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord.
After who died? Read verse 5 again.
And Jair died.
And Jair now, that was our leader at the time. He died. Read.
And was buried in Canaan.
In Canaan. And what happened?
And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord.
Listen, we're prone. We go off easily, man. We go off easily. Soon as someone died, we go off. We don't have no leader over us. We going off. That's who we are. That's why the Lord said we're a stiff-necked people. Like, no, these people need a leader over. Look, that's why the Lord was the Lord was reigning over us. He's the king over us. We didn't even want that. We always wanted to be like the other nations. We always wanted to serve their gods. Like, damn, I wonder what it's like serving their gods. They look like they having fun serving their gods. Our God is strict. That's how Israel think. You understand? Because why? We hate God's laws. Our people hate God's laws. So now when the Lord put a leader over us to rule over us and to keep us, for us to keep the laws, to keep the straight path of the Lord, okay? But after he died, guess what? We'll go right back off into idolatry, right? Go ahead.
And serve Balaam.
They go Balaam again. Read.
And Ashtaroth.
And Ashtaroth. These two names. Go ahead.
And the gods of Syria.
Uh-huh.
And the gods of Zidon.
Read.
And the gods of Moab.
Read.
And the gods of the children of Ammon.
Mm-hmm.
And the gods of the Philistines. And forsook the Lord and served not him.
And served not the Lord. Go ahead.
And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel.
Once again, go ahead.
And he sold them into the hands of the Philistines and into the hands of the children of Ammon.
You see that? We was always in captivity because we kept breaking God's laws. We kept serving these other nations' gods. We kept marrying them and so forth. So the Lord, we was always in captivity. Go ahead.
And that year they vexed and oppressed the children of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
18 years, all the children of Israel that were on the other side Jordan, in the land of the Amorites, which is in Gilead.
Read.
Moreover, the children of Ammon passed over Jordan to fight also against Judah, and against Benjamin, and against the house of Ephraim, so that Israel was sore distressed. And the children of Israel cried unto the Lord, saying, We have sinned against thee, both because we have forsaken our God, and also served Balaam.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said unto the children of Israel, Did not I deliver you from the Egyptians and from the Amorites?
So the Lord said, didn't I deliver y'all from the Egyptians and Amorites, these Hamites? Go ahead.
From the children of Ammon?
From the so-called Japanese today. Go ahead.
And from the Philistines?
And more Hamites. Go ahead.
The Sidonians also.
Uh-huh.
And the Amalekites.
Uh-huh.
And the Maonites did oppress you. And you cried to me, and I delivered you out of their hand.
So the Lord asked him a question like, didn't I deliver you? Didn't I deliver y'all out of the hands of these other nations? Right? Go ahead.
Yet ye have forsaken me.
Yet y'all still turn from me. I don't get it. What's going on? Go ahead.
And served other gods.
And you still serve other gods. I opened the Red Sea for you guys. Y'all came through on dry land. I destroyed the Egyptians for y'all. Go ahead.
Wherefore I will deliver you no more.
So the Lord said, look, man, I ain't even dealing with y'all no more. Y'all choose to serve these gods. You know what? Forget y'all. Go ahead.
Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen.
So he mocking us now. He said, yo, go and cry to them gods y'all keep choosing. Balaam, Ashtoreth, Chemosh, Molech. Go cry to them gods. Go ahead.
Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation.
Let's see if they can deliver you. Go ahead.
And the children of Israel said unto the Lord, we have sinned. Do thou unto us whatsoever seemeth good unto thee. Deliver us only, we pray thee, this day. And they put away the strange gods from among them and served the Lord. And his soul was grieved for the misery of Israel. Then the children of Ammon were gathered together and encamped in Gilead. And the children of Israel assembled themselves together and encamped in Mizpah. And the people and princes of Gilead said one to another, what man is he that will begin to fight against the children of Ammon? He shall be head over all the inhabitants of Gilead.
Right. Now, get me. So we told the Lord, okay, no, we're gonna serve you. We sinned, we're gonna serve you. Give me Judges 17 and 6. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. Just give me Judges 17 and 6.
Judges chapter 17 and 6. In those days there was no king in Israel, but every man did that which was right in his own eyes.
You see that? This is what we did. Matter of fact, get me Judges 16 and you start at verse 30 with Samson.
Judges 16 and 30.
Yep. Watch this. Remember, Samson, the Lord sent Samson to defend us, to rend us out of the hand of the Philistines as well. Right? Watch this.
And Samson said, let me die with the Philistines. And he bowed himself with all his might, and the house fell upon the lords, and upon all the people that were therein. So the dead which he slew at his death were more than they which he slew in his life. Then his brethren and all the house of his father came down and took him, and brought him up, and buried him between Zorah and Eshtaol, in the burying place of Manoah his father. And he judged Israel 20 years.
So Samson judged Israel 20 years, right? Now, jump to 17, verse 6.
Judges 17
after Samson dies. Go ahead.
In those days there was no king in Israel, but every man did that which was right in his own eyes.
You see that? Here we go again. There was no king, there's no leader over us. So guess what? I'm gonna do what I feel is right in my own eyes. Go ahead.
And there was a young man.
Jump down. Now jump to 18, verse 1.
18 and 1. In those days there was no king in Israel. And in those days the tribe of the Danites sought them an inheritance to dwell in. For unto that day all their inheritance had not fallen unto them among the tribes of Israel.
Read it again.
In those days there was no king in Israel.
There was no king in Israel. Go ahead. Once again.
And in those days the tribe of the Danites sought them an inheritance to dwell in.
Oh gosh, Dan. They sought an inheritance to dwell in. Go ahead.
For unto that day all their inheritance had not fallen unto them among the tribes of Israel.
But what I want y'all to see is that in those days there was no king in Israel. There was no leader over us. So we did that which was right in our own eyes. This happened over and over again. So guess what? What was right in our own eyes? What you think it was? Idolatry. Let's go serve those other gods. There's no king over us. We could do what we want. We could do what we want now. That's how Israel think. That's how Negroes think. Right? Now, get me from there, give me 1 Samuel 7 and 3. First Samuel 7 verse 3.
1 Samuel chapter 7 verse 3. And Samuel spake unto all the house of Israel, saying, if you do return unto the Lord with all your hearts, then put away the strange.
Start at verse 1.
Verse 1. And the men of Kirjath Jearim came and fetched up the ark of the Lord and brought it into the house of Abinadab in the hill.
So this is during the time of Samuel, right? So we was having wars with the Philistines, back and forth. So we was losing. We was losing the war. So the Philistines, this is summarize what happened in the previous chapter. The Philistines, what they did, they took our ark. They took our ark into their camp. And the Lord was smiting them with hemorrhoids, which is hemorrhoids and so forth, right? So now they trying to get rid of the ark. They like, yo, we need to get this back to them because the Lord was plaguing them, right? So now we get the ark back. So now this is where we at now. 1 Samuel 7:1.
And sanctify Eleazar his son to keep the ark of the Lord.
Uh-huh.
And it came to pass, while the ark abode at Kirjath Jearim, that the time was long.
So So with the ark as well, so we brought the ark back to Beth Shemesh, which is a town in Judah. All right, which Levi was there. All right, Beth Shemesh was a town of Judah, and Levi was there. We brought the ark there, but the Lord was tearing us apart because we had the ark amongst us, right? So he destroyed like 50,000. Read verse 19 of 1 Samuel 6:19. Watch this.
Verse 1 Samuel 6:19. And he smote the men of Beth Shemesh because they had looked into the ark of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Even he smote of the people 50,010 men.
Right. So this is after we got the ark back into our camp. All right. But it's among the Levites in the town of Judah called Beth Shemesh. But what happened? Read verse 19 again.
And he smote the men of Beth Shemesh because they had looked into the ark of the Lord.
Read.
Even he smote of the people 50,010 men.
Damn. So he smote 50,000. All right. 50,310 men. Go ahead.
And the people lamented because
not 300. Damn. No. He smote 50,000 and 60 men. 70 men. Sorry. 70 men. Go ahead.
And the people lamented because the Lord has smitten many of the people with a great slaughter.
Because one score is 20. One score is 20. All right. So 3 scores is 60. And 10 is 70. So he smoked 50,000 and 70 men. Read on.
And the men of Beth Shemesh said, who is able to stand before this holy Lord God?
Uh-huh.
And to whom shall he go up from us?
Read verse 21. Go ahead.
And they sent messengers to the inhabitants of Kirjath Jearim, saying, the Philistines have brought again the ark of the Lord. Come ye down and fetch it up to you.
All right, 7 and 1.
And the men of Kirjath Jearim came and fetched up the ark of the Lord, and brought it into the house of Abinadab in the hill, and sanctified Eleazar his son to keep the ark of the Lord.
Read.
And it came to pass while the ark abode at Kirjath Jearim that the time was long, for it was 20 years, and all the house of Israel lamented after the Lord. And Samuel spake unto all the house of Israel, saying, if you do return unto the Lord with all your hearts, then put away the strange gods and Ashtaroth.
Put away the strange gods and Ashtaroth. Go ahead.
From among you.
From among us. Read.
And prepare your hearts unto the Lord, and serve him only, and he will deliver you out of the hand of the Philistines.
That's all we had to do. Stop serving their gods. Serve the Lord. And we wouldn't be going into captivity after captivity after captivity. But Israel don't listen. Why? Because we are stiff-necked and rebellious nation. Go ahead.
Then the children of Israel did put away Balaam. And
put away who?
Balaam.
Once again. And who?
And Ashtaroth.
And Ashtaroth. Balaam and Ashtaroth. Balaam and Ashtaroth. You read about them over and over again. Read.
And serve the Lord only.
And we serve the Lord only. All right. Put away Balaam and Ashtaroth, and we serve the Lord only. Okay. Now, do y'all have the chart, the same guys, different names throughout history in the captivities? For me, pull that up. Can't make this up, man. Israel, we got to repent. We got to get it together. We got to get it together. And what I'm gonna show you, we doing the same thing today. We doing the same exact thing today. All right. All right. So I'm about to transition. I'm about to go into now the Trinity, and you're gonna see how everything correlates. Let me see. Go down. Let me see. Let me see that. Blow it up. Try to find me another one. Not then I could deal with this one, but try to find me another one. Something more that's a little complex. Something a little simple. That just goes straight through the names. Yeah, let me see. Pull that up. Put it up. Yep, there's something simple. But it don't got Baal on there. Come on. Let's go to images and find a. I need Baal on there. I need Asherah on there, and then the different names from there. Blow it up. I don't even know what this is. You understand that? I don't even know what that is. Hey, just type in different. Just type in like different type in like same gods, different names. Same gods, different. Just type it in like that. Same God, different names. Dang, y'all thought y'all saved that. I remember Deacon brought, when he did his noon class, he brought out something like that. I thought maybe y'all still had that. Y'all saved it or something. Different gods, same names. You can put in like Tammuz, Bacchus, something like that. Yeah. Like a chart. Hey, what about that first one? Yeah, let me see that. My man. Thank you. This is better. All right. So look. Read off Yeah, read from the top.
Nations under their gods.
So nations under their gods.
Nimrod, the Lord of heaven.
So these, now, like I was saying before, you'll see who these names go all the way back to, right? You'll see who these names go all the way back to. Different, same God, different names, right? So read off, go to each nation and then read across. So you can start with us in idolatry and who we was. Go ahead.
Israelites serving false gods. Baal.
So these are the names you're going to read that we just read that we were serving. All right. Go ahead.
Tammuz.
So it says nations, the nations under their gods. So us serving their false gods, right? So Baal. So Nimrod. So read the top. Nimrod, the Lord of heaven. And then
Tammuz, the son or Messiah.
Right, go ahead.
Semiramis, the queen of heaven.
So Nimrod, the Lord of heaven. Tammuz, the son of the Messiah. The son or Messiah. Go ahead.
Semiramis, the queen of heaven.
Semiramis, the queen of heaven. These are their actual names, right? Go ahead.
Israelites serving false gods.
So these are names that you will find in the scriptures that we were serving. Read.
Baal.
So we read in Baal or Balaam. Go ahead.
Tammuz.
You'll see Tammuz. We'll get there. Go ahead.
Ashtoreth.
And Asherah. We read about Asherah. Go ahead.
Phoenicians.
So the Phoenicians. So this is the name that they worship. The same gods, Nimrod, Tammuz, and Semiramis. This is the name that they gave them. Read.
El.
Read.
Bacchus. Astarte.
Astarte or Ishtar. Right. Go ahead.
Babylon.
What was Nimrod called?
Belus.
Belus. You'll know him as Bel. So you have Baal, Bel. That goes back to Nimrod. Go ahead.
Tammuz.
So they still call Tammuz. Go ahead.
Rhea. Ishtar.
That's still Semiramis. So you got Ashtoreth, Astarte, Rhea, Ishtar. Read on.
Assyria.
So this is the same God, different names. This is what Assyria called them. Go ahead.
Ninus. Hercules.
Hercules,
Beltis.
Beltis. Nina's Hercules, Beltis. Go ahead.
Greece.
Mm-hmm.
Zeus.
So Greece, Nimrod, ball name is Zeus. Read.
Dionysius.
Uh-huh.
Aphrodite.
Dionysus, Aphrodite. Go ahead. So Aphrodite, Dionysus is Tammuz's name under the Greeks. Semiramis' name is Aphrodite's under the Greeks. Read on.
Rome.
Now in Rome, the Roman Empire, what did they call them?
Jupiter.
Uh-huh.
Attis.
Addis.
Cybele or Diana.
Sybil or who?
Diana.
Sybil or Diana. We read about Sybil and Diana or Diana. All right, all go back to Asterisk, all go back to Semiramis. Go ahead.
Egypt.
Ra,
Ra.
go ahead.
Osiris or Horus.
Uh-huh.
Isis or Hathor. India. Vishnu.
So this is the names in Elam, India. Go ahead.
Vishnu.
That's Baal.
Krishna.
Or Nimrod. Krishna, that's Tammuz.
Isi or Devaki.
Isi or Devaki, that's Semiramis or Asterisk in India. Read on.
China. Panku.
Uh-huh.
Yi. Hingo or Matsupo.
Mm-hmm.
Mexico. Teotihuacan. Coatzcoatl or Cotaliku.
Nah, we dealt with that. Quetzalcoatl, that's Christ. We dealt with that. Go down. All right. So those are the same. Is the same God, different names. Same God. Each nation have a different name for the same God. All right. Each nation have a different name for the same God. Now, let's take a turn. Give me 2 Corinthians 11 and 4. New Testament, 2 Corinthians 11 and 4.
2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 4. For if he that cometh preacheth another Jesus, whom we have not preached.
Let me get that. Go ahead.
For if he that cometh preacheth another Jesus, whom we have not preached.
Read.
Or if ye receive another spirit, which ye have not received, or another gospel.
Get Matthews 24 and verse 5. Matthew 24 and verse 5.
Matthew 24 and 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
So we know that Esau came and deceived us, saying that they were Christ. You understand? So now they had the missionaries, they sent the Jesuits out, and so forth and so on. Read that again.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
Read.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Now, give me 2 Corinthians 11 and 4.
2 Corinthians 11 and 4.
Read.
For if he that cometh preacheth another Jesus, whom we have not preached, or if ye receive another spirit, which ye have not received.
Right, receive another spirit. Go ahead.
Or another gospel.
So a spirit and another gospel. All right. So you receive these different spirits from these missionaries, these Jesuits, and so forth. All right. That modern Christianity spirit. All right. And that other gospel, those different gospels that you got the Immaculate Conception, the Trinity is the one that we're going to deal with. The Trinity. All right. You have give me some more of those different doctrines, those gospels. You have the Christ born December 25th. Okay, so these are other gospels and so forth that come with these spirits, these other spirits, right? That is not of Christ. Go ahead.
Which ye have not accepted, ye might well bear with him.
Right. Now give me 1 Timothy. I'm just running through it real quick. Give me 1 Timothy 4 and 1. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1.
1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits.
So these are the different. This is the spirit. This is another spirit. It's a seducing spirit. Go ahead.
And doctrines of devils.
And it's a doctrine. Then what comes with that? Doctrines of devils. Doctrines of devils. Man-made religions. All right. The Roman Catholic Church. Doctrines of devils. Right. Now, one of those we're going to deal with is the Trinity. We're going to deal with the Trinity. All right. So give me Trinity. Give me Wikipedia. The Trinity. have to do a part 2. But read that. Now, I know I just did a transition, but everything is going to correlate. You're going to see. Everything is going to. That's why I told you to remember Nimrod. Remember Baal, Ashtoreth, Tammuz. All right. And I said, remember Nimrod, Semiramis. Matter of fact, go back to that chart real quick. Go back to the chart real quick. Go back to the chart real quick. You see it says Semiramis. Let's go back to Semiramis, the queen of heaven. Semiramis is called the queen of heaven, right? Ashtoreth, Astarte, and so forth and so on, right? Give me Ezekiel. Give me Ezekiel. Remember, we in a Babylonian captivity now. So watch this. No, I think it's Jeremiah. Jeremiah 44. Huh? Yeah, 44, right? Give me Jeremiah 44. Remember, Semiramis is the queen of heaven.
Jeremiah chapter 44 and verse 17.
Tell you, Israel got a habit. You just keep worshiping these gods. Go ahead.
But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth.
So this is the wives talking. These are the wives talking. They said we're going to do what?
Do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the queen of heaven.
Unto who?
The queen of heaven.
So the rebellious black woman said, I don't care. I don't care what you say, Jeremiah. We're going to do whatever we want to do, what comes out our own mouth. Okay, we're going to do what's right in our eyes, in our own eyes. That's what we're going to do, Jeremiah. Read it again.
But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the queen of heaven.
To burn incense unto the queen of heaven, which goes back to Semiramis, which goes back to Ashtoreth or Ishtar or Astarte. That's who he's burning incense to. Doing the same thing all over again, under a different name. Now the God is the same God under a different name, right? Now, give me Ezekiel. Go back to the chart. Go back to the chart. Go back to the chart. With a chart, come on. Now get Tammuz. No. Read the chart. Tammuz, the son of the Messiah.
Tammuz, Bacchus, Tammuz, Hercules, Dionysius, Attis, Osiris, Horus, Krishna, Ye, Quetzalcoatl, Balder.
Right. So Tammuz, that's his name. That's that God's name, Tammuz. Right? You got Nimrod, Tammuz, Semiramis. Now, give me Ezekiel. We're going to deal with Tammuz and we're going to deal with Bacchus in the Greek captivity. But first, give me Ezekiel 8:14.
Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north. And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz.
They was doing what?
Weeping for Tammuz.
They was weeping for Tammuz. Once again, worshiping these gods. Weeping for Tammuz. Read it again.
Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north.
Read.
And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz.
So they sat women weeping for Tammuz. And we're going to get into that weeping. It was called the lament, the lament of Tammuz. That's what it was called. The lament. That was the ritual. That was the rite, the ceremony. It was called the lamenting of Tammuz. All right. So that's why we was weeping. That's why our women, our wives, were weeping for Tammuz. All right. Now, give me, remember, his other name is Bacchus during the Greek captivity. Now, give me, matter of fact, give me 2 Maccabees. Give me 2 Maccabees 6. Yeah, 2 Maccabees 6 and 1.
2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of God.
Not to live after the laws of God. Go ahead.
And to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem.
Read.
And to call it the temple of Jupiter.
And call it the temple of who?
Jupiter.
To call it the temple of who?
Jupiter.
To call it the temple of Jupiter. Read.
Olympius. And that in Gerizim of Jupiter, the defender of strangers.
Go back to the chart. Who is Jupiter?
Jupiter. In Rome,
Read it.
Nimrod, the Lord of heaven.
Right. Nimrod, Lord of heaven. Now go down to what nation and who called him
Rome,
Jupiter.
Jupiter.
Right. Rome, Jupiter. So you got the Greco-Roman. Remember, it was the Greco-Roman Empire. Right. So Greece, at first, they called him Zeus. Then his name became Jupiter. All right. Greece, Jupiter, Baal, Belus, Ninus, Nimrod, all the same God. Going back to Nimrod. All right. Now, from there, now read on. Jump to verse 6.
Verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. And in the day of the king's birth, every month, they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept.
And the feast of who?
Bacchus.
Now go back to the chart again. Who's Bacchus? Who is Bacchus?
Tammuz, the son of Messiah.
Uh-huh.
Phoenicians, Bacchus.
So, and or they called him Dionysius, but they kept the same name, Bacchus. All right, so either Dionysius or Bacchus. That was Tammuz once again. Remember, they just changed the name. Same guy. Go ahead. Read on.
They were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus carrying ivy.
Right, so they were carrying ivy. They forced us to we was compelled to go in procession. It was a parade for Bacchus, for Tammuz. All right, now, give me Jeremiah 2:11.
Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 11.
Let me get there. Read.
Hath the nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods?
So the Lord asking the question, have a nation changed their gods, which aren't gods, they're idols? Read.
But my people have changed their glory for that which doth not profit.
So have a nation changed their gods? No, I'm showing you that the nations, they never changed their gods. They just called it by another name in that particular whatever nation. You know, they never changed. It's the same gods. They never changed their gods. Same gods, just different names. Okay, read it again.
Hath the nation changed their gods, which are yet no God?
Which are yet no gods. Go ahead.
But my people have changed their glory for that which doth not profit.
And I showed you over and over again that we always changed our God. For that it didn't profit us. Why? Because we always got our behind. The Lord always threw us in slavery for idolatry, for serving their gods. We the only nation on earth that changed our God. We the only nation on earth that changed our God. All these other nations, they still worship these same gods. They still worship the same gods. We the only nation on the earth that changed our God. All right, read on. For which that don't profit us. Because it didn't profit us to do that. Go ahead. Because we was always in captivity because of this. Go ahead.
Be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid. Be ye very desolate, saith the Lord. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns, that can hold no water. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave?
Read that again. You see what the Lord is saying? What he's asking? Go ahead.
Is Israel a servant?
Is Israel a servant? Go ahead.
Is he a homeborn slave?
Yo, is Israel a homeborn slave? Y'all stay in slavery. Are you a homeborn slave? Every time I look around, I got to put y'all back in slavery because y'all don't listen. Y'all must be homeborn slaves. You must be put on this earth to be a slave. Then read it again.
Is Israel a servant?
Are you a servant? Are you supposed to be a servant on this earth? Go ahead.
Is he a homeborn slave?
Or is he a homeborn slave? Read.
Why is he spoiled?
Why is we always spoiled and destroyed? Why? Read on.
The young lions roared upon him and yelled, and they made his land waste. His cities are burned without inhabitant.
Why? Because we stayed disobeying the Lord. We didn't want to keep God's laws. We want to follow. We want to do what the other nations do. Hey, where's the scripture at where it said that? And then I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna do a part 2. We can get into the Trinity on part 2. But find me where it says that it's in Samuel. It's in Samuel where we wanted a king like the other nations.
First Samuel, chapter 8 and verse 6.
Read that.
But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, "Give us a king to judge us." And Samuel prayed unto the Lord.
Where's it where
It's a little earlier where they said, "Give us a king like the other nations."
right, that's what I want.
Verse 5.
Yes, yep. Read that.
Verse 5, and said unto
Start at
them-
verse 4.
Verse 4, then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel unto Ramah, and said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
You see, we told Samuel, man, you getting old, man. You can't judge us no more like you used to. Why don't you just make us a king like the other nations got? Because we want to follow after other nations. We want to be just like them. So we're like, well, give us a king like them. It seems like they do better when they got a king. I like the way you see how they king rule over them? It looks better than you ruling over us, than you and the Lord ruling over us, Samuel. You know why? Because we didn't want the Lord ruling over us. So he's like, look, man, give us a king like the other nations. Like they having fun. The other nations are having more fun than we are, Samuel. Read.
But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, Give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Samuel, Hearken unto the voice of the people and all that they say unto thee.
Right, just listen to him, Samuel. Go ahead.
For they have not rejected thee.
Don't worry, they didn't reject you. Go ahead. This thing is deeper than what you think. Go ahead.
But they have rejected me.
But the whole purpose of them asking for a king is they don't want me ruling over them. That's the whole purpose. It had nothing to do with you. This thing is deeper than you. Go ahead.
That I should not reign over them.
That the Lord said that he should not reign over us. That's why we was asking for a king. Go ahead.
According to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them up out of Egypt, even unto this day, wherewith they have forsaken me and served other gods.
And did what?
Served other gods.
So it was always in us that we want to be like them other nations. We were serving their gods. So we like, we were serving their gods, and we liked the way the other nations how they handle themselves. We liked their customs and so forth. Just like it's saying Second Maccabees. We followed the Greeks. I'm butchering it. Yeah, give me that. We followed them so earnestly. Cause that thing was in us, man. Still is. Second Maccabees 4.
Second Maccabees chapter 4, verse 12. For he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself, and brought the chief young men under his subjection, and made them wear a hat. Now such was the height of Greek fashions, an increase of heathenish manners, through the exceeding profaneness of Jason, that ungodly wretch, and no high priest, that the priest had no courage to serve any more at the altar, but despising the temple, and neglecting the sacrifices, hastened to be partakers of the unlawful allowance in the place of exercise.
We ran to do that thing. Go ahead.
After the game of discus called them forth, not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all.
You see that? We like the glory of the Grecians best of all. We like the glory of the other nations best of all. That's what I was showing you throughout our history. We like the glory of the other nations best of all. Yo, give us a king like the other nations got. Okay? We like their gods. We want to serve their gods. We don't want the Lord ruling over us. Go ahead.
By reason whereof sore calamity came upon them. For they had them to be their enemies and avengers, whose custom they followed so earnestly, and unto whom they desired to be like in all things.
We desire to be like the nations in all things, but preferably the Greeks, the so-called white man. We want to be like him in all things, even to this day.
This is war!
You understand? So what I was showing you how Israel, how we got caught up with the other nations, and we wanted to be just like them and follow their gods. That's something we did that thing over and over. That's why the Lord always stressed, yo, listen, don't have no other gods before me. Don't bow yourselves into any image or like image of anything. All right. Hey, for example, give me Dagon. Give me that. Remember, go back to Dagon, and I'm gonna end it. I have to do the Trinity on the next one. Dagon. Yep, right there. Right. Remember what it said about Dagon. Read that.
This Dagon, this is the Hebrew name used to refer to the national god of the Philistines.
Uh-huh.
This idol had the body of a fish with the head and hands of a man. He was considered to be the god of prosperity, and the Syrians consider him the father of gods.
Right. The Syrians consider him to be the father of gods, right? Hey, give me the symbol that we, you can get the Pope. He got that hat like a fish. Right. Give me Psalm 64 real quick. Psalm 64. Psalm 64. And 6 or 4, verse 4.
Psalm 64 and 4. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect.
Start at verse 1. And then we're going to start verse 1.
Hear my voice, O God, and my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked.
So-called white man. Go ahead.
From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
Workers of sin.
Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bow to shoot their arrows.
Read.
Even bitter words.
Read.
That they may shoot in secret at the perfect.
So they shoot in secret at the perfect. We are the perfect. They shoot in secret at us. We don't see what they're doing, but the Lord sees it. Behind closed doors, that's where they try to get us in secret. All right? Whether it's engineering, the like biochemical warfare and so forth behind closed doors, and through the foods and all of that stuff, that's how they shoot in secret behind closed doors. They make their laws and so forth against us behind closed doors. Go ahead.
Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily.
You see that? They commune of laying snares privily. Go ahead.
They say, who shall see them?
And they whole thought process, Esau's whole thought process is, who shall see us? Who shall see what we're doing against Israel? Who should see us? Go ahead.
They search out iniquities.
So verse 6 is what I want. Read it again.
They search out iniquities.
They search out sin. They dig up sin. This is what they do. They dig up sin. Go ahead.
They accomplish a diligent search.
And they do a thorough search to dig up sin. Thoroughly. They don't miss nothing. Go ahead.
Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
The inward thought in every one of them, the heart is deep. They 10 steps ahead. They 10 steps ahead of us. We think for today. Nah, Esau thinking 10 steps ahead, years, centuries. How the evil that they thinking of, how it's going to affect us down the line. That's how they think. Okay, so they search out iniquity, search out sin. Okay, meaning what they do? You got your what is called archaeology. Okay, they do the archaeology digs. Okay, you think Esau don't know about? They know about history. They study the different empires. Okay, they study the different empires. What kept them in sin here? What kept them in sin there? Yes, that's what they do. All right. For example, give me Judith 5 and 20, and give me Judith 5 and 20. Judith 5 and 20, real quick.
Judith chapter 5, verse 20.
Read.
Now, therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God, Let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation,
There don't be no sin amongst us, read.
let my Lord now pass by.
But read the top part again.
But if there be no iniquity in their nation,
No, the top part.
verse 20.
right.
Now therefore, my Lord and governor,
Uh-huh.
if there be any error in this people,
If there be any sin in us, read.
and they sin against their God,
And we sin against our God, read.
let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
They know that. If we sin, if we can keep them in sin against their God, that's gonna ruin them, man. In the long run. That's why I say they mind is deep. They think deep they think for the long term to keep us in sin, how to ruin us. Okay. Now bring up Dagon again. You see the Pope. So Dagon is like a fish god, right? It go back to Nimrod. Go back to Baal. Okay. Now where the Pope at? Because they search out iniquities, man. They search out iniquities. Come on. Y'all got a lot going on. Y'all just had it up. Yep. See how his hat is? The hat, that's Dagon. Okay? That's Dagon. All right? It's the hat is in the it's like it's the mouth of a fish. Dagon, right? Now get the symbol that in Christianity today, the symbol that you put on the back of your car, that fish symbol. Yep. This is on the back of a lot of black people cars. Yep. You see how they merge? You see this? The nonsense? This goes back to Dagon. Goes back to Baal. Okay? You see this on a lot of people cars, on the back of their cars. That's Dagon. All right? The god Dagon. Okay? So listen, I'm going to have to end it. I'm going to end it here. All right? So I'm going to do a part 2 going into the Trinity. All right? The origin, the history of the Trinity, where it came from. And you're going to see the correlation between this class and that class. It's the same gods. All right? So with that, Israel, hope y'all glean something from the class. History in the AM, Officer Jez. All praise the Most High. I'm going to say shalom, Most High, and Christ bless.